All right, so I'm currently in Vancouver, Canada. And the best part about this is that I'm not alone. Here with me, I have Clark, I have Alu, I have Yesley, I have Tonette, we have Ali, Sophia, and of course, last but not the least, Ariel. My friends and I recently had a short trip to the city. It was my first time ever to visit Canada, and I flew in here having no expectations at all. Well, except for the common things like having to try some Tim Hortons iced coffee, talking to what most say are the nicest people in the world, and of course, having to brave the cold. And I'm glad to say that these were all true. Coffee was good, people were really nice, and it definitely was colder than I thought, especially it being the springtime. This story began after a 12-hour flight when we landed a little past over midnight, so most of us were fighting to stay awake during the entire trip. But thankfully, I was surrounded by the best company, so losing a bit of sleep was definitely worth it. After all, we only had 36 hours to make the most out of everything. So, this is what we did. 7 a.m., 2 hours of sleep, cup of coffee, jet lagged. All I needed to go and pick up the van we rented out for the day and headed straight to Grouse Mountain. It was March 27th, and the weather wasn't exactly ideal for a trip up to the mountains, especially if we wanted to get a good view from up there, but we still took our chances. Were we excited? Oh yeah. Was it traffic? Extremely. Did we properly plan everything out? No. But that's what makes it better. And as we got up, Vancouver had different plans for us, as the fog was too thick, and our only option was to go snowboarding or skiing, but neither of us were really ready for that. We then headed down to what was next on our list, the Capilano Suspension Bridge, just about a 5-minute drive down from the mountain, nothing too crazy. We all went in, got our tickets, and might I say, this place was beautiful. Tall trees everywhere, the sunlight creeping in between the leaves from above, the cafes and gift shop feeling extremely cozy, and of course, the bridge itself, which was so high above the river it was both scary and relaxing to look at. Just watching the water flow, wondering where it's all coming from. A mountaintop as you slowly look up and feel a rush of fresh air. And as someone who is crazy about the outdoors, I wouldn't mind if we spent the entire day here just doing our own thing. But this doesn't happen very often, wherein you're in a completely different city with your friends, adult money, and the endless ideas that brew in your head as you go along. That's why we decided to waste absolutely no time here, and we took a whole lot of photos, made some great memories, laughed at whoever screamed or tripped, maybe crossed some things off our bucket lists, and as high energy adults in their late 20s, of course we had to make complete fools out of ourselves. The beautiful gas town was our next stop, and we had to visit the world-famous steam clock along Water Street. It was cute. It played a little sound with the steams blowing off to tell the time, and as I sat down and looked around, I couldn't help but compare this to the other cities I've been to before. It gave off a Dumbo, New York, Melbourne, Australia type of feeling, but Vancouver definitely had a heart of its own. And this is when I wished I had more time to explore this city. It was also the time my body was slowly giving up on me, but I needed to power through, because I had to. We then found this pizza place for lunch called Straight Brooklyn Pizza, where we all had our first meal of the day at 3 in the afternoon. And this place was a godsend. It hit all the right spots. You know why? Because no one at that table said a single word and did not stop eating. Afterwards, we took a walk around the block before finally heading back to the hotel. But no road trip is ever complete without a stop at Walmart. And oh, how I've missed this place. But wait, we actually dropped by the outlet stores before this, but I really did just take a nap in the car while my friends were out shopping, so let's head back to Walmart. Walking past these aisles, I'm reminded again that we only had less than 20 hours before we fly back home. But that didn't stop me from getting the 3 items I always get in a grocery store: berries, yogurt, and muesli, as I eat these for breakfast almost every day. For my friends, there were chocolates, nuts, air fresheners, an electric toothbrush, and some mouthwash. I'm sure we all struggled to return the things we didn't need, but that didn't mean anything when we went to Dollarama the next day. As the night got colder, Church's Chicken was there to save the day, as we had our own little feast in the hotel. Huge thanks to Alu for pulling up with some fried tofu and mango sticky rice to put it all together. Laughs were shared, fries were devoured, and eyes slowly started to shut. It was easily one of the best parts of the day, and maybe just the perfect way to end the night. The next morning came, woke up, and realized it was already 12 noon, which I haven't done in years. So I put on whatever clothes I had left and go have coffee in the hotel lounge. Then headed out for a much needed meal and another cup of coffee in Tim Hortons, and blew the rest of our adult money in Dollarama. In here, I was able to get some treats for the staff in my new apartment, some mixing bowls, and a knife. I was also able to get this cool shot because I've always been wanting to pull this off, so I hope I did right by this. After a cold and rainy walk back to the hotel, we only had 7 hours left before we fly back, and so we decided to use this time to relax and talk about life, all while painting this canvas we picked up at the dollar store. Now, this is usually the part of the trip when we ask ourselves, was I able to make the most out of it? Having spent only 36 hours with these people, there were definitely some things I wish I could have done differently. But of course, I'm still thankful for how everything turned out. That's just how it's supposed to unfold, I guess. But I do want to call myself out for being shy in some moments. If you look back to the very start of this video, that part almost never happened. I was too shy to ask everyone if they could be a part of the shot, so huge thanks to my dear friends Yes and Alu for looping everyone in what I had planned. And that soon became my favorite part of the video. If Vancouver reminded me of anything, it's this. If you have a chance to do something you know is great, just do it. Because you'll never know what's in store for you at the other side. Also, try not to keep track of the time when you're having fun, because you'll only realize it's moving way faster than you want it to. Just enjoy every moment and do what makes your heart happy. So, here's to Clark, Alu, Yesley, Tonette, Ali, Sophia, and Ariel. Thank you guys for this unforgettable experience. And of course, all the lessons I'll gladly take along with me as I go. For Vancouver, I know I'll see you again.